First time in history, a former president has been indicted on federal charges.
Donald Trump now indicted twice in the same year, and according to ABC News, Trump is charged with at least 7 counts in that indictment.
This is in relation to the handling of classified information while he was out of office and those documents that were seized at his Mar-a-Lago home over the summer. Our morning co-anchor Aaron Guy joins us live outside the federal courthouse in Miami, where Aaron, the former president, is expected on Tuesday to make an appearance.
Yeah, 3 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, right here at this federal courthouse. Now, this is a big story playing out across the country, and it's all happening right here in our own backyard, downtown Miami, in the federal courthouse. The Justice Department has yet to confirm these indictments, but ABC News reporting that Trump could face up to 7 charges, including conspiracy to obstruct justice. Now, the former president breaking the news himself in a lengthy statement last night, saying he's been summoned to appear in court, also claiming in this video he is an innocent man.
I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person. They come after me because now we're leading in the polls again by a lot against Biden and against the Republicans by a lot.
Meanwhile, new overnight, we're hearing from the former president's attorney in the case, and he says his client is ready for the legal battle.
He knows he's innocent. He knows this is garbage. He knows there's fundamental flaws with each one of the counts that they're apparently putting in this indictment. And he knows that the whole process, starting from the archivist, was a corrupt and politicized one. So he's not shrinking from the fight.
So how did we get to this day? Well, the grand jury's decision, really a culmination of months of investigating after alleged mishandling of classified documents were found at his Palm Beach estate in Mar-a-Lago back in August. Now, this indictment, the first time former president has been indicted when it comes to federal charges, but he's already facing charges in the state of New York. So back in April, you may remember that Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records over hush money payments he's accused of making to adult film star Stormy Daniels. A trial date is set for March 25th of next year, and that's right in the middle of the presidential primaries, which then begs the big question. Trump considered a frontrunner right now for the 2024 Republican nomination. So what does it mean as he's running for president, but also facing this federal indictment? Want to bring in Caleb Califano to continue our team coverage. And Caleb, you've been talking to experts about what it means for the presidential race.
Aaron, that's right, and good morning. Well, Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg says at least when it comes to the Republican primary, this indictment could actually be a good thing and motivate his voter base.
The more indictments against Donald Trump, the better it will be for him within the Republican primary. I think his base voters will get more motivated, more juiced up to come out and vote for him.
Now, in recent polls, the former president still has a sizable lead over other Republicans for the 2024 presidential nomination. This morning, Trump is declaring his innocence in a new video calling the federal indictment related to his handling of classified information a hoax. Former DOJ attorney Richard Serafini says Trump's comments are just noise outside the courtroom and won't ever be used inside.
That may play for him politically, but I suspect his defense attorneys consider that to be a nightmare. An unschooled or untrained client can say things that can come back to haunt him or her.
Now, after all of this, even if Trump is convicted, there is nothing in the Constitution that says he still cannot run for president. For now, we're live in downtown Miami. Caleb Califano, WPBF 25 News.
Caleb, thank you. Interesting stuff there. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden, this is important to know, and former Vice President Mike Pence, both running for 2024, have also been under investigation when it comes to their handling of classified documents. Classified documents, you may remember, were found in Washington, D.C. in an office and in Biden's Delaware house. The Justice Department appointed a special counselor. They're still investigating. Meanwhile, documents also found in the Indiana home of former Vice President Mike Pence. Last week, however, we learned the investigation had concluded and the former vice president will not face any charges for documents found on his property. So let me break down what happens next in the days ahead. We're going to know that, of course, the former president is going to be inside this courthouse right here beside me, 3 o'clock on Tuesday. That's where he's going to appear in front of a judge for an arraignment. He's going to enter a plea. We heard from him directly saying he is not guilty, so he's likely going to enter a not guilty plea. The judge will then set release conditions after hearing from prosecutors and the defense. Now, the Secret Service reportedly already planning about how to protect the former president come next week. We're also told the Justice Department is moving some additional resources right here to downtown Miami. And according to ABC News, former President Donald Trump's team already discussing a possible rally for his presidential bid in 2024 surrounding his appearance in court on Tuesday, which would all take place right here in South Florida. More to come on that. Meanwhile, this is a big story playing out right here in our backyard, right here in South Florida, and we've got you covered. We're going to continue with our team coverage for you throughout the day, and of course, it continues on our mobile app. For now, we're live in downtown Miami. Nathalie and Stephen, I'll send it back to you.
Erin, thank you so much.